Welcome back to a new episode of the Bridgehammer Podcast, where we explore the intersections of global events, business, and society. Today we are tackling a powerful topic: war and peace. Often we hear that the moral argument for peace is humanitarian necessity, a moral imperative to prevent suffering. But what if I told you that peace is also a sound business and social strategy, that beyond compassion, that there's a strong economic, corporate and societal case for ending conflict? In this episode, we'll unpack why peace is not just a moral calling, but a practical, profit-driven necessity for businesses, governments, and society at large. So let's dive in. Let's start with the obvious. War is incredibly expensive, not just for governments, but for the global economy. The ongoing Russo-Ukrainian war alone has cost hundreds of billions of dollars in direct military expenditures, infrastructure destruction, and economic losses. Global supply chains have been shaken, gas prices skyrocketed, wheat exports were disrupted, and inflation rippled across continents. Think about Europe. Millions of households now face soaring energy bills because of disruptions in Russian natural gas supplies. Businesses, from manufacturers to logistic firms, are spending more on transportation, raw materials, and energy. That's less money for innovation, expansion, and job creation. This is not just about wartime cost. Post-war reconstruction can take decades. Look at Syria. Years after its civil war began, much of its economy remains in ruins, with ripple effects impacting neighboring countries. For businesses operating in global markets, war is an existential risk, threatening everything from raw material supplies to consumer purchasing power. And now let's flip the script. What happens when peace prevails? The answer: stability. And businesses thrive in stable environments. Peace fosters economic growth by creating predictable markets, enabling trade and attracting investment. Take post-war World War II Europe as an example. The creation of the European Union, born out of a desire for peace, turned the continent into one of the world's largest economic blocs. Trade between member nations exploded, lifting millions out of poverty and creating some of the world's most successful companies. Peace made it possible. For businesses, peaceful regions are fertile ground for growth. Companies don't have to worry about supply chain disruptions, destroyed infrastructure, or currency volatility. Tourism booms, consumer confidence grows, and innovation flourishes. Let's consider the Sahel region in Africa. The ongoing conflicts there have stifled the potential of one of the most resource-rich areas in the world. Imagine what businesses could achieve if these regions were stable. Mining, agriculture, renewable energy projects, all creating jobs and driving economic development. For every dollar not spent on war, there's a dollar that can be reinvested in economic growth. War's costs extend beyond economics. It tears at the social fabric. Refugee crises, forced migration, and civilian casualties create long-term instability. Europe, for instance, has experienced firsthand the challenges of hosting millions of Ukrainian refugees. While many have shown solidarity, the strain on housing, healthcare, and education systems is undeniable. And yet, when peace is achieved, the social dividends are enormous. Refugees can return home, commodities rebuilt, and public services can focus on growth rather than survival. Take the Marshall Plan after World War II. By rebuilding war-torn Europe, the US didn't just prevent another conflict. It created trading partners, boosted global markets, and laid the groundwork for decades of prosperity. Investing in peace isn't just about avoiding destruction, it's about creating opportunity. Companies can operate without fear of shutdowns or destruction, and governments can channel funds into education, healthcare, and infrastructure, instead of defense budgets. So, why should businesses, governments, and individuals care about peace beyond morality? Because the numbers make sense. Peace is an enabler. It fuels market, drives innovation, and lifts millions out of poverty. Conflict, on the other hand, is a drain. It drains resources, it drains moral, and it drains potential. Think of it this way. For every dollar spent on peace building and conflict prevention, the United Nations estimates that $16 is saved in the cost of conflict. $16. Imagine if that money could be reinvested in green energy, healthcare, or digital infrastructure. And let's not forget, peace is contagious. Regions that thrive economically and socially inspire their neighbors to follow it. Stability in one part of the world creates ripple effects, more trade, better jobs, and fewer reasons for conflict to arise in the first place. At the end of the day, peace isn't just a humanitarian necessity, it's good business. It's good for markets, it's good for innovation, for people, and for our mutual future. The business case for peace is strong, and it's time we start treating it as a core part of global strategy. Thanks for tuning into the Bridgehammer Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you soon again tackling the hard issues of our time. Stay tuned.